This is just another 80s Geek, and you are tuned in to the Geek Showcase. Today, we are going to highlight one of our toys. It's going to be a Toy Geek episode, guys. And I did these a little bit back a while, and that was opening live opens of things that I'd ordered off of eBay. First time opening them, live reactions on what kind of quality they were, etc. If I got a good buy out of them, things of that nature. I thought I'd gotten them all in the last set of videos. You saw me open a bunch of He-Man stuff. You saw me open a couple Centurion figures, Black Star figures, Hordak, and things of that nature. But I realized that there was a couple packages that were smaller that were kind of tucked away that I had not got to yet. So we're going to be opening one of those today. So that's going to be what we're going to be checking out. And I will show you the package without showing you any addresses, hopefully. So this is the package that came from eBay. So we're going to open it up and see which retro toy I ordered that is going to come in this package. I know it's one of three because I'm remembering which ones I ordered and which ones I haven't opened yet. So I have three packages left. This is going to be one of them. So I'm excited to see which one it is, what condition it is, how it looks, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and cut this open and see what we have. All right, we busted that open. I've pulled this card out, which is just a simple rate us on eBay type thing. So maybe I'll do that. And then when we pull this guy out, that is what we have. The rest of that is empty. So good packaging. It's a little bit of a bubble package, and then we have the bubble wrap, which is taped on there. Hopefully that's not going to be too hard for me to, I can just pull this guy right out. So, all right, so what we have here, guys, let me cover his head and see if anybody can figure it out. This is going to be what I'm considering for my Heroes and Villains collection, the main villain from the show, Voltron. That is right. This is going to be King Zarkon. This was a figure that was produced by, I believe it was called Panache Place, which was a very short-lived toy line or toy company. They, I believe, started in maybe 84, somewhere around there, and they were out of business by like 87, 89 at the latest, but I believe it was 87 there. I mean, 3-4 years or whatever. It's kind of a mystery what happened to them. I guess they did file bankruptcy, but some of these figures said Panache Place when they came out, and then some of them eventually had Mattel stickers. So I don't know if Mattel bought the remaining part of their line, if they bought the company, or what happened. But this is like basically a 4-inch figure. It's going to be very similar to the size of like your, maybe 3 3/4 figures. It said on the eBay listing 4 inches, but maybe they were just rounding up because most of those figures would have been 3 3/4, like your Star Wars and your, the smaller G.I. Joes, etc. So that's what you have here. I'm going to see if it has any type of markings on it that show a date. This one should have come out in 1984 or 1985. It was there was only 12 figures in this line put out for the Voltron as far as the actual action figures. There was some vehicles, obviously you had the lions to form Voltron, etc., but there was, I believe, 6 villains and 6 heroes. So there's only 12 figures, and this would be King Zarkon. I could have gone with Prince Lotor as the main villain, but I'm saying King Zarkon. Kings outrank a prince. So let's get him up here close and let's take a look at what we have here. So this is his face. All right, pretty good with the paint there. Not much fading or chipping. Black mark there on his neck. I don't know if that's supposed to be there or not. Pretty good. There we go. No markings there. As far as paint fading, chipping, the top seems solid. I guess maybe just a tiny bit if I'm really being picky on the edge there. Nothing to complain about there. Let's look at the rest of his back here. Good detail there, no fading, no chipping. Here we got our marks on 1984 is the print there. Doesn't always mean that's when it was released. Could have been released in 1985, even though it was made in 84, but good chance it was actually released in 84, since I believe that's when that line came out. Made in China. All right. A little bit maybe, really not even much wear or chipping around the feet. No pegs in the holes, or no holes, pegs in the feet or anything like that for this line. Take a look at the front here. His chest plate. I gotta say, this guy's in pretty good shape, guys. As far as articulation and things of that nature, his leg goes up and goes down, does not go back. So it's stopping right there, it does not go back. So comes right there and hits that, and that's as far as it's going. But it does go forward, that's both legs. Pretty tight joints here, so that's good to see. The arm can go all the way around, I believe. Yep, arm can go all the way around. Same with this one. Looks like there's a little space between this arm joint and the body, whereas you don't see that space on this one. So maybe just a little bit of separation there. And then his head will turn all the way around. Doesn't move any way besides that. So the legs go forward, arms and head both get 360 movement. It stands with no issues whatsoever. So that is Voltron, evil character King Zarkon. The trick there is then, who do you get for the hero version? So I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts in the comments section, below. Because for those of you that haven't been checking out my videos, I have an ongoing collection of heroes and villains, is what I call it. And basically what I do is I collect the number one, in my mind, the main villain and the main hero from each of the 80s cartoon series, action cartoon series that I can get. So for example, that would be in Transformers, you have the original Optimus Prime and the original Megatron. G.I. Joe, I went with Duke and Cobra Commander. Turtles is a little bit trickier because there's 4 turtles, but generally Leonardo is the leader, so I went with Leonardo and Shredder. He-Man and Skeletor. That's what I'm doing. So I'm interested. Voltron, if I pick King Zarkon instead of Prince Lotor, if I pick King Zarkon, who do you go with the main hero? Because the main character that you watch Voltron for is the combined Lion Force, Voltron in all of its essence, I guess you can say. But you also have all the different heroes. So you have, Hunk and Pidge and... God, I'm missing Keith. I'm going to blank on some of their names. So I'll throw them up here. There they are, right there. So those are the heroes. So I guess I can choose one of them as my main hero, because otherwise this guy would be standing next to Voltron, which I'm guessing is, 4 times the size of him. So for display purposes, that would be pretty difficult. Not saying I don't want to get Voltron. I remember playing with it as a child. One of my friends had it. So it would be cool to add to the collection. But I think for this purposes, you generally want them to be about the same scale, same size. So I'm going to have to put a poll out there or do some research on who would be the main character out of the good guys in Voltron. So to go along with the hero and villain. So that is pretty cool. I'm very happy with the condition. This guy looked very weird on eBay on the pictures. He looked like he wasn't like an actual figure. It looked very, I don't know, cheesy in a way. It didn't look as articulate and as detailed as even we got here. And I'm not saying there's a lot of articulation or anything. It's pretty standard for that type of thing. Maybe even a little bit less than some of the 80s figures, since you can't swivel, the body at all. You can't take the legs back, things of that nature. So a little less articulation, but I'm pleased with the detail, because it looked like it was going to be a lot, I don't know, cheaper when I was getting it online. So very happy with this purchase. I'll give that guy or girl or whoever a very high review on the eBay thing, because there's nothing wrong with this guy for being as old as it is, 40 years old basically almost, with no chips, no scuffs. All the joints move pretty well. Maybe if I'm nitpicking, maybe a little separation on that shoulder, but that is beyond nitpicking right there. So nothing I can complain about. So he will be a fine addition to the Heroes and Villains collection. Very happy with the purchase there. Don't always get happy with an eBay purchase, but this one, 5 out of 5. Let's highlight this guy and take one final look at King's Archon from the 1984 Panache Place brand Voltron line.